Hello guys, I'm out for a walk and I thought I would just do this video while I'm out here. This video is in regards to, as a follow-up to last video that I made in regards to vehicle maintenance or mission generation vehicular equipment technician, 2T3X1 in the Air Force. This is part 2. So I found out that there is a few things that I did not address in that video, and some people asked me to make another video. It's been a while since I made that video because of this little girl. You know, I'm a new father, and I'm also taking college full-time, and I'm still in the United States Air Force Reserve. The first question was, how do I get into special shred when it comes to vehicle maintenance? To review, vehicle maintenance has 3 shreds. There's a general mechanic shred, which is me. I'm general mechanic. And then there's 2 other shreds. There's the A shred and the C shred. The A shred is for fire truck and refueler. And the C shred is for K loaders, things with a lot of hydraulics in it. So to get into those shreds, or any shreds at all, it's actually just come from your recruiter. Your recruiter is the one who gives you the shred. You can't really choose your shred once you get in. It's not like you can go to tech school and you're like, oh, I'm more interested in this. I'm gonna do that shred. You know, you have to come to tech school with shred picked out for you already. So it's harder to get shreds such as A shred and C shred because there's less demand for it. You know, the shop that doesn't require that many fire truck mechanic to be at the fire station. There's just really not that much demand. So you have to talk to your recruiter. You have to get it on your AFSC before you go to tech school. Okay? Now there is options. You know your supervisor really well, or your upper management. I'm a 7 level, right? Because I'm a staff sergeant, right? 7 level, which means that I am trained in both fire truck and K loader, A shred and C shred, even though I'm only a general mechanic shred. Because once you get to your 7 level, you should be able to do everything. But if you're a 7 level and you're interested in going to fire truck, and you know upper management, and this is hard to get. This is rare. This is extremely hard to get. You might be able to request it. Like 2 weeks ago, I was in fire truck maintenance for my reservists, and the reason for that was because, you know, like I have some connections. So I was there for 2 weeks. I was working with fire truck mechanics, and I was literally just a fire truck mechanic working on fire trucks. Okay, and I did that for refueler when I was in Korea also for around 3 weeks. So it's just one of those things, right? But if you're a general mechanics, you're usually going to be in general mechanics, and it's really hard for you to move. And it's the same vice versa for other shreds. This next comment someone made was they would like to go to McGuire Air Force Base in New Jersey, and I would tell you no. You do not want to go to McGuire Air Force Base. It is considered one of the most toxic vehicle maintenance bays in the entire Air Force, active duty wise. That was my first base, and that base actually made me want to leave the active duty. I think that's why I separated from active duty and joined the reserve. Now McGuire Air Force Base is a really good base for reserve vehicle maintenance. I'm in vehicle maintenance right now. I'm in McGuire, and I'm in the reserve. An amazing base because all the annual tour go do all these to this different location. So like last year they went to Hawaii, and the year before they went to Utah, and before the pandemic this year, we were supposed to be going to Italy or Spain, one of the two. It's kind of like the option of joining the reserve. McGuire wise, you get a lot of better life, and like of course like the supervisor for reserve McGuire is super cool, but the supervisor at the active duty sites are very toxic. Next question, what's the hours when you're active duty Air Force from vehicle maintenance? For vehicle maintenance active duty, you usually do 10 hours. So that's including lunch. So a lot of people will say, oh, it doesn't include lunch. Most supervisor will say it's only 9 hours because they don't include lunch. Now, I include lunch because you're not at home with your family in those times, so I count lunch, right? So it's 10 hours, 6:30 to 3:30 for McGuire. That's my first base. Now, a lot of bases, they'll start from 7 o'clock to 4 o'clock. That's the vast majority of bases. And then there's, some off bases that has time like 8 till 5 or something like that. It depends on the base too. So the majority of base, you'll do 5 days a week, 10-hour day, 5 days a week, okay? And Monday through Friday. Now, some special base that you go to for vehicle maintenance, you'll actually have 12-hour day, okay? A 12-hour day, but you only work 4 days a week. Now, those are rare bases that actually have that kind of hour of operation. And the way it would work is that you would do 12-hour 4 days. So like, let's say you would be working from Monday to Thursday, and then someone else will work the Friday, and then they'll be off on Monday, kind of thing. So there'll be an alternate shift when it comes to 12 hours. Now there's special kind of hours in certain bases, like snow base, like McGuire is a snow base, as in it's snow. So for McGuire, if it does snow, then everyone in general mechanic will do 12 hours, like automatically. There is no if or but or whatever. You do 12 hours and you do a 24-hour kind of thing, but you do 12-hour shift. So and it sucks. We everyone hates it. It's and you don't get weekends, so it doesn't matter that it's a Saturday, right, or a Sunday. You still have to be there. Because you're considered priority in some of these bases where, and usually you're linked to CE. CE is civil engineer. So every time civil engineer do 12-hour, you would do it too. Because you need to be there to make sure that their snow vehicles are operational. Your mission essential. Now, there are certain bases like Korea, Osan Air Force Base in Korea, where there's a dedicated snow team. So when it does snow, there's a group of people, around 7 or 8 people, that would do that 12 hours, and then you wouldn't do that, right? Those special mechanic would do that, and then they actually come in when you leave, and then they'll leave when you come in, kind of thing. But you'll do regular hours. But for A shreds and C shreds, most of the time you guys will have the day off if it's snow. So yeah, that's a bit of a good thing of being those shred instead. The next question I had in regards to vehicle maintenance is the reserve, because I had a few people who said that they're going into the reserve, and could you just explain a little bit more about the reserve, because they're not going into active duty, so they don't need to know active duty stuff. So the reserve, you come once a month, 2 days a month, okay? So like one weekend, and they call UTA, okay? UTA, and the way it works is that you come in for these 2 days, okay? You report in, whatever, and then most of the time, like if they have work, you'll do some work for vehicles, but most of the time it's really, really rare, because how much do you think you can do in 2 days? What kind of vehicles can you fix in 2 days? Not a lot. You can do some oil changes, PMI, sloth on some vehicles, and that's about it. Most of the time people don't even work when they come to UTA. They just kind of do training in such as cyber awareness training, all these CBTs. CBTs are what you do online. Once a year also you'll have AT, annual tour, which is 2 weeks. Once a year you do 2 weeks of AT, and it depends. Let's say you go into a vacation spot like Hawaii or Spain or Germany, and most of the time you just kind of go and you'll do what they tell you to do, and if you finish, you get to go and and leave early and go explore the country or whatever. But if you are doing AT back at your station, my AT just happened. I did an AT at McGuire, so you're going to be working a little bit more. I work with the fire truck guys, so we just kind of like just like a regular vehicle maintenance. I just come in and I work. That's all. Just like active duty, and then I only do it for 2 weeks, and I leave after 2 weeks. That's it. Same hour of operation as active duty. I don't get to leave early. I don't get to do this, or you're just literally an active duty guys for 2 weeks AT at the main base as your home base. I mean, so a lot of people don't want to go to home base for the AT, right? They want to go to off base so they can work a little less, and they would have more time to explore and for themselves instead of having to spend all those time working. So the last question I got from you guys was, if you come into vehicle maintenance and you never worked on a vehicle in your life, you never pop a hood or anything, are you going to be okay working as vehicle maintenance? And the answer is yes, you'll be just fine, because you're going to go to tech school. Okay, tech school is for 4 months, and you're going to learn all the general things about vehicles. You're not going to be an expert from vehicle. A lot of people will go to tech school and they'll go to school for 4 months, and they'll come out and they think they know a lot of things, and they'll get their first vehicle and they have no idea what to do with it, because like tech school is just kind of like that surface level kind of knowledge, and you have to get trained on the job. So now, if you never work on a vehicle in your life, like I never worked on a vehicle before I joined, and the reason I chose vehicle maintenance is because I wanted to know how to fix vehicles. I have, let's say my wife in the car with me, or my child in the car with me, and a car break in the middle of the night. How do I fix it? So that's why I chose vehicle maintenance. You might struggle a little bit at first, because you don't have that knowledge that other people have. And base are really good at teaching you things. I know in Osan, there's a lot of good leader who will take you by the hands and teach you everything about vehicles. And then like my first base was in McGuire, and like they were not willing to teach me at all. You need to keep your supervisor accountable for not teaching you or whatever. And if they still, like, if you bring it to their attention that you're not learning anything, people who are supposed to train you not training, and your supervisor don't even give a crap, then talk to your unit training manager. If that doesn't work, go talk to your first shirt, or go talk to your commander. Literally, like, you keep going up the chain until you can get people to teach you what you need to know about your job. When I first got out of tech school, I was the model airman. Right outside of tech school, I was black robe, I was head black robe, I had a resume, like that was really, really great. And I came to my first base, McGuire, and it was such a toxic base, and people were not willing to teach me, they were not willing to work with me, to train me up to do work. All they want to do is they just want to talk crap about me behind my back, and all the new people behind their back who doesn't know how to work on vehicle, and just like, oh, why do they sit around doing nothing all day while, like you have these kids who come in, their daddy own a garage, a mechanic shop, and they work on cars since they were like 7 years old. Your leadership just like, oh, why can this person work and they're new and you can't even work when you're the same amount of, like, you've been in just as long, or you've been here longer. It's just because like people come in with different level of experience and different kind of like caution. Is yes, you can come into the Air Force vehicle maintenance without knowing anything. That's fine. There's a lot of people who does that. I was one included. But you need to make sure that you keep your supervisor accountable. Now, I went to a toxic base. Like I said, McGuire is one of the most toxic bases in the entire Air Force for vehicle maintenance. If you go to a base that people aren't willing to teach you, then you need to keep them accountable for it. You need to be on them to teach you. You need to read your CDCs, which is the book you get after you finish your tech school. You go to your first base. These are called CDCs, and they're literally just a bunch of textbooks that you have to read, and it teach you everything about mechanics. The way I actually got past that kind of toxicity of not being able to get any training in McGuire was that I just sat down with my CDCs, and I read from cover to cover that I know everything about vehicles in the CDCs, and it actually helped me quite a bit. You know, after I read all 8 of my CDCs, I was pretty comfortable with working on vehicle. Believe it or not, you know, I learned how to fix vehicle from a book. And all the questions I got from you guys, like, leave comment if I miss out anything. If you have some more questions in regard to Air Force, I reply to every single person, okay, in my comment. Before I forget, okay, don't forget to like and subscribe. I don't really make profit out of these videos. These videos are strictly for you guys and for new people joining the Air Force to learn more about the Air Force. Okay, I don't make any money off of these videos. I don't monetize these videos. So these videos are strictly to help people. So if you like my video, okay, you put thumbs up and you subscribe, it's only gonna help other people find my video. It's not gonna help me because I'm not getting paid from YouTube. Okay, and I don't really care about being YouTube famous. I just want it to help other people. Okay, bye.
무슨 말이 필요할까 그냥 눈빛에 담